Hello students, today we are talking about Raymond Williams, the famous Marxist thinker. Before that, please like, share and subscribe my channel. So important works of Raymond Williams are Culture and Society, Base and Superstructure, Culture is Ordinary, Long Revolution, Keywords, a vocabulary of culture and society, and country and the city. The most important contribution to literature by Raymond Williams is the concept of cultural materialism. This is coined by Williams but later developed by Alan Sinfield and Jonathan Dollimore. So according to Raymond Williams, culture is changing from time to time. The meaning of culture is changed over centuries. For Williams, culture is not the culture of elite people or the way of life of elite privileged people. For him, culture is involved or embedded in the day-to-day life of common people. In the day-to-day and they're embedded in the everyday experiences and activities of common people. So for him, we cannot define cultural cultural studies without actually understanding the word culture. So according to this Raymond Williams, culture is not involved in the life of or the way of life of privileged wealthy people, but it also involved the day-to-day activities, everyday experiences of ordinary people. They may be poor also. So according to him, the words like democracy, class, art, culture, all these have various social political meanings, and the meanings and context of and the content of these things like democracy, art and culture are changing by changing every day. This change is explained in the work Keywords, a vocabulary of culture and society. And according to him, cultural materialism emphasizes studying the cultural context of a text. A text means a book, a film, a drama, each and everything that which is related to literature. So this is influenced, and this here materialism means wealth. So simply we can say that cultural materialism is inspecting or examining the influence of wealth or money behind the culture of a society. He says that looking at the historical aspects we have to that have been discarded. This cultural materialism is examining or looking at the historical aspects that have been discarded in the narratives of history. Cultural materialism deals with the study of historical context, and we must study those part of history which is discarded or silenced by privileged or wealthy people. So in simple terms, this theory says that we have to consider those parts of a text which are silenced or discarded by wealthy people to hide their negative side. Cultural materialism is trying to figure out that ignored part of history. So this is focusing on or deals with how privileged people used books on Western thoughts to justify their own values and ignored cultural and political messages in a book. So cultural materialism is simply trying to figure out all those values which are hidden by privileged people in a work to glorify their positive sides, and they are trying to find out those things or those truths which are hidden in every text. For example, the work Wuthering Heights. This work shows actually this work is a love story, but this work also shows the problems of class in European society. Actually, they are in this novel they are showing that one class of people are severely marginalized and wealthy, and the cruelties of wealthy people. But this during those days only the positive sides of the wealthy people are showed or explained through this work, and the negative side of privileged class is purposely hidden behind this work. But the duty of cultural material is to find out those hidden truths behind every text work. So and all these things are explained in the work Culture and Society by Raymond Williams. The next important concept of Raymond Williams is types of culture. According to him, there are three types of culture. They are residual, dominant, and emergent culture. Residual culture means those culture which has the impact of old values, but still it's going on. The old, this is a old one, but now also it's existing. This is a simple definition of residual culture. So the influence of old values, but still it's surviving. That is residual culture. The best example is the culture behind agriculture, or those all those stories behind agriculture. And best example is Gandhism, because the influence of Gandhiji was there during our independence days struggle, but still now also it's going on. Still now also Gandhism influences a lot. So we can say that this is a kind of residual culture. Dominant culture means prominent at present, but is embodied in the majority of society. At present, the culture which is very dominant now, that is dominant culture. Consumerism is the best example for dominant culture, and mall culture is also at present a dominant one. Next one is the most important type of culture, that is emergent culture. Emergent culture means emerging, new coming culture. It may be dominant culture, but alternative and opposing also. This means emergent culture, at present this culture may be a dominant one, but sometimes it's an alternative or opposing culture. Alternating culture means a parallel culture which arose in society for a particular period. In the last decades, during 1980s, the alternative culture was hippie culture. Of course, it's an opposite culture also. And now the best example for emergent or alternative culture is LGBT culture. Now it's emerging, but it may be a dominant culture one day. These types of cultures are called emergent culture. And another example for another concept of Raymond Williams is homology. Homology means a resonance or a link between two or three things. Homology means the symbolic structure of social values and symbols. This means that in our in a culture, we need there should be a connection between the symbols for that culture and its values. Then only we can say that it's a perfect one. So homology means resonance. Another name for homology is resonance. Means resonance. It's a link between two or three things. Homology here is a link between social values and social symbols. For example, if I'm in Punjab, the Sikh people are using turban. So this is a social symbol for their social value as a Sikh. So we are a Sikh man who is wearing a turban is the best example for this homology. There is a connection between his culture and a symbol, and this connection gives the perfection for his culture. This is homology. For Raymond Williams, it's a structural resonance or link between different cultural values and symbols, which makes the socio-cultural whole a complete one. When there is a connection between these symbols of society and values and values for this, then only we can say that this cultural whole is a perfect one. Thank you.